Listening, I'm hearing a lot of murmurs. Now let me explain to you what it means to be sitting where you're sitting today. And you listen to a guy like me, here's what it means. It means that right here, there may be one person here. Maybe one. You have to look and see, is it you? That's going to listen to me. And I'm going to mean something to that one person. And they're going to remember that. And they're going to take that and they're going to become highly successful. Because I remember when I sat Buffet Primary School and Mr. Hamilton came on top. I was barely 8 years old and I still remember that he was dressed in a suit. He spoke well and he talked about giving back. He doesn't know that he impacted me, but I'm telling you that there may be one person here and the rest of you guys may not be thinking about being that person, but if it's you, start thinking and listening to what I'm about to tell you. All right? Now listen. If any one of you sitting here know why you were born, know why you were born to the situation you're born in, know why you're born to the parents you're born, know why you look the way you look, know why you are the way you are, if you already know all that, you should get up and walk out. You don't need to be here. You don't need to be in school. You already know it all. But for that one kid who is listening to me keenly right now, like me, I wanted to know why I'm alive. Why was I here? And I wanted to know that really early in life. Now, I didn't know my father. I didn't. He left Jamaica when I was 1 year old. He gave me a gift. His gift was, kid, you're on your own. You gotta figure it out. That was it. That's what he gave me. Okay? And I remember that. And I made a decision very early that I'm gonna prove myself. I'm gonna prove that I'm gonna get to the highest level there is in life. Early on. If you haven't already decided that, you're way behind the 8 ball. Why? Because your kids have traveled the world in China, Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, all over the world today. I have people working for me in India, Morocco, China, Brazil, working for me. The world is now global. The world is competing. Kids your age already way advanced. Now, there are a few of you here that's extremely smart. You guys have made good choices early on. You're studying, busting your chops every day because you have already understood what I understood when I was sitting here. That you have to do the first thing in life. What is that? Look around you and understand your situation. Now, when I looked around me, I looked at poverty. I looked at the fact that I had nothing. I had one room, no TV, no refrigerator, nothing. You understand that? All I had was me. That's it. No father, no one else. My mom, my grandmother, my sister, my 2 brothers. That was it. That was my team. But I made that decision that I'm going to be someone really big. Now, if you decide to look at your situation and accept it, here's the deal. No one here was as poor as I was, I can tell you that. But maybe I'm wrong. Let's assume you're starting from where I started, which is 0. Some of you are going to start at different levels. It's not about where you start, you understand me? It's what you decide that you want to do. Now let's go through the next step. Now that you recognize, when you look around you, that you have no choice in how you start, but you have all the choice in how you go from here forward. Okay? Now, what's the next step? The next step is you need a desire. If you have no desire, you're already out of the game. You have nothing to live for. You kind of go through the motion. You need a desire. You're going to say to me, Dr. Chen, how do I get a desire? Well, some of you already have that. I'm just going to speak to that one kid here somewhere who's listening to me very keenly. You need that desire. How do you get it? You're going to remember 3 words. And these 3 words you're going to remember when you leave here. But let's start with the 3 letters for those 3 words. Ready? I know you're probably going to forget everything else, but I want you to remember these 3 letters. And I want you to go follow me, follow my successes, and track your success. Here are the 3 letters. K-I-C. K-I-C. K is for knowledge. You will not have a desire that you can act on until you have the knowledge to understand what is it you want to do. You have to get that knowledge. Okay? Now, I knew that I needed financial success. That's it. I needed to get to the highest level of financial success because when I looked around me, the people who had money had more options. If you want financial success like I've had in my life, if you want that, you have to start looking at your knowledge and understand, okay, how am I going to get financial success? You need to understand it. So, how are you going to improve your knowledge? The first thing you're going to do is, you're going to start going on the internet and start learning about successful people. Learn about me. Start with me. I was right here. You're going to study everyone else. Think about all the successful people you heard of. Butch Stewart. He built sandals from one hotel in Montego Bay. Lee Chen, he built a fund in Canada. He was here at his high school. Start thinking about Bill Gates. Start thinking about Warren Buffett. Start thinking about Zuckerberg. These are the guys who are major billions and billions. You start reading about them and learning about them. If you don't understand how to go find something to do, you're lost. When you start listening to people who are successful, you're going to get their success tips. Right? You're going to understand what are the things you need to learn from them. You won't develop that on your own. You understand that? Once you get your knowledge about how to succeed, that's going to spark a drive. How do you get there? You want to be more successful than Mark Zuckerberg? If you decide that today, you have to understand how he got to where he is. And you're going to start working on that today. Okay? The next letter is I. You have to then decide on starting your journey after today. You're going to need to figure out what initiatives you're going to pursue. Now, guess what? You already made that decision. You decided that you're coming to Titchfield High School. That was an initiative. You decided that. Right? You had a strategy. Your strategy was, I'm going to pass the common entrance. So you're already on the success journey. You're already using the things that I use. Now, once you're here, you have to then decide what other initiatives are you going to pursue. And it's all about your success. Now, when I was sitting here, I came here in 1 North. It was the last class at the end. Okay? Now, when I came here, I decided that I was going to be the best football player ever to walk through here. Now, that was something I decided I wanted to be. A decision is just a decision. A journey requires you to take a first step. You have to develop a path. So for me, that was practicing. Every day I left school, I went to the park, practice. The other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to pass my A-levels. So I started studying every night. I don't need money for that. I don't need TV for that. I don't need my parents to have a car for that. I don't need to have a refrigerator for that. I don't need any clothes. You know what? I used to wear patch-body pants. Hey, at least I had a pants on. But what I'm explaining to the one person here today that's listening to me, and is riveted, because you already figured out that you want to be rich, you want to be smart, you want to help people. That one person that's still listening, understand, every day you're working on your game. There's no day off from success. There's no day off, like, you know, today I'm just going to chill out. Well, the kids in Japan and China are not doing that. So when I went home, there was no chilling out. There was studying or football. That was it. Day in, day out. When I got sad and missing why don't I have a father? Why am I so poor? You get down on yourself. I used to go to the park with my ball, juggle around, run around. Used to go on the top of the hill above Buffet and sit there. And I looked at the horizon. I looked at the boats. these ships. I would follow these ships as they go over the horizon. And I'm saying, you know what? I need to get across there. That's my next initiative. How do I get there? I started thinking about every possible way I could get off and get away from Jamaica. I thought about smuggling on the boat. I thought about going on being a farm worker. I thought about getting a ship job. I thought about every single possible way I could think of. I asked everyone I can, how do I get to America? I had no way to get there. And finally, I found that all the doors were slamming, and I realized I couldn't do it. I said, what do I have? I had me. People, you have you. Every day you have you. Look in the mirror. That's all you need. You understand me? My father was right. You need just you. He already did his job. My mom was necessary to nurture me. But my dad, he gave me that gift and said, find your way. What do? I said, I'm going to get off this island on my own. So I studied harder. You see these classrooms? I would be here till 5 a.m. at night. When I did A-level math, I finished with an hour and a half to go. Pastor Aiken said, Kingsley, I beg you, sit down and check your work. I'm like, for what? I said, there's no way it can be done already. I'm like, really? I'm done. I had seen every single question on that paper before every single paper. I saw it. I knew the answer already. I was done. Distinction in math. Every night here. You guys get that? You're listening to that. Some of you already did that. The rest of you are not doing that. Come up here at night. There may be one person here who wants to be big. This is where it happened. You want to be the best football player? Don't just go to training. Train on your own. I used to be out here in the morning running on that beach. I used to have Rudolph's feet in the goal, trying the different shots. I'm like, I need to be able to shoot from every angle. That wasn't during training. That was on my time. You guys hear that? My time. So, your initiative, you're going to write it down. I needed to get off this island, so I had to find a way. The way was football. Before me, no one else had ever had a soccer scholarship from this school. It was impossible. I said to Don Davis, our coach, I need to get a football scholarship, but no one has ever done that. How do you do it? I said, I don't know. But here's the advice I'm going to give you. You have to make a loud noise. You're from Portland. No one's going to hear you. So what do you mean make a loud noise? You have to score goals so people know that you're here. Penny is right here. The first game I played, 7 goals. I had to turn it down. Every time I got the ball, back of the net. 7 goals. Never done before. Second game, 5 goals. I'm already 2 games, 11 goals. For the first time, my name and Titchfield started ringing in Kingston. Who was that shining? That was my name. Who is this guy? How do you score 7 goals and 5 goals in 2 games? But he said, you got to make a loud noise. And we did. We went to the national championship. We lost 1-0. And I went on to play for the Jamaica national team. And I came back here. And I sat down with Mr. Chen, Lloyd Chen, who was my mentor. I lived with him across the street, right there. That's where I lived, with him. Since I was 15 years old, I lived with the principal. And I learned from him. I listened to him every day. And I said, hey, where do I go from here? I don't have a scholarship. He said, well, you need to go to university. But I'm going to give you a job. And he gave me a job teaching here. A few months into my job teaching health science, he ran into the classroom and got me. I said, do you have a call? I'm like, what call? You have a call from America. I went into his office right up there. I went into his office that's right there. And there was a coach from Columbia University, which is an Ivy League university, one of the best in the world. And the coach says, is this Kingsley Chen? I said, yes. He said, I'm Dieter Ficken. I'm the coach of the #1 ranked university in America. And I've heard from Bradley Stewart that you're the best football player in the island. And you're also smart, that you have all these A-levels and O-levels. We want you to come play for us. and my knees buckle. Because this is what I work for. This is what I sweat for. These are the days and nights staying up. I used to study all night. My grandmother used to say, hey, I can't sleep. Turn off the kerosene lamp. I turned it down low and turned my back to her. I studied all night. The reason why I studied here is because I don't pay electricity here. It was available to me. All those things came to me, rushed to me. Because listen, to this one kid who's listening to me right now, it's not what you're doing today. It's when you look back and you saw that you pursued excellence at every level. You saw that you listened to your parents. You saw that you listened to your teachers. You saw that you sat down with the football guys ahead of you and asked them all kind of questions. Hey, how do you do this? And when you went out there on your own and you bust the chops and you work hard, and when you're a nice person, and when you're thinking about going to church every Sunday, my mom picking you out of the house, go to church, and you develop habits about how to be a better person, and you look at yourself and you say, I'm going to do this on my own. My parents are my parents, not by choice. I'm going to love them regardless of how they are. But it's about you finding your way every day, never blaming anyone. You have to work. Now, after you list all the ways you're going to succeed, you're going to decide to close on every single one of them. KIC. What does close mean? You don't make a commitment and not finish it off. You don't say I'm going to get distinction in A-level math and don't finish that off. You don't say I'm going to be the best and don't finish it off. You don't say I'm going to do this for you and don't do it. You don't make a decision, an initiative, and don't plan to succeed. Because if you're not planning to succeed, you have a great plan to fail. Now listen, there's no failure in life. You understand that? None. No such thing. That word needs to be stricken from the English language. There's no failure. What it is you just need to try again. You need to go back to the drawing board. You need to come up with a different strategy. That's all it means. You understand that? Right here is the future of this country. You are the future of this country. We're all going to get older and we're going to move on. I don't play for Titchfield football anymore. Now listen, when I was here playing for Plant House, we don't lose games because I'm there. Right here behind me, ask anyone who knew me. The ball comes to me, it's done. In the goal. That's how it works. My job was to be a center forward. My job was to finish. I'm not impressed by people who start things. I'm impressed by people who finish that. You get that? You're going to remember KIC every day. You're going to follow me on the internet, track what I'm doing. And you're going to start learning about successful people. Starting today. You're going to know everything about bookstore. You're going to know everything about Zuckerberg. Everything about Bill Gates. And you're going to pick some of the other guys that you want to emulate. Because you can't know that on your own right here. Your job today is to get the best grades, is to listen to your teachers. And if you're in athletics, if you're on the choir, if you're on a team, your job is to do the best you can in the role you have. You understand me? When I was a center forward, my job was not to play defense. My job was not to be the goalkeeper. My job was, hey Kingsley, listen, when we do all the work and we get you the ball, what's your job? You put it in the back of the net, you close out. You can talk all you want, but it's about finishing. So I'm going to end here and tell you that, listen, this school has everything you need. You understand that? You have teachers that show up every day to teach you. You have everything here. Your home, wherever you live, has everything you need. Now, some of you may have TV and all these other things. Those are distractions. You don't need that. Get rid of the TV. I didn't have it. You get that? Distractions are going to be the killer of your dreams. Procrastination. If you decide, you know what, Dr. Chen, great, I'm going to work on that, you're going to fail. Procrastination is going to kill your dreams. You need to make decisions. Learn about the decision. Learn about the strategy that you want to take. Commit to those decisions and close out on them. That's what you're gonna do.